Hi, my name's Emma Marcotte. I'm a senior psychology major with a business minor. So my title is still kind of a work in progress, but it's about the assessment of stigma of mental illnesses. It's kind of about tracing the history of stigma of mental illnesses through the years with an assessment of mental health awareness in the modern day and age, specifically looking at the role of media and how mental illnesses and mental disorders are portrayed on social media sites, and then also how the COVID pandemic heightened the population's use of social media, increasing the effects of how media affects mental illnesses and how they're understood and portrayed, and then also just responding with how should Christians respond to these events, and how should they respond to those with mental illnesses, and how should they be talking about them on social media and different media platforms. Well, it's pretty important to the psychological field just because mental disorders and mental illnesses kind of make up a lot of the psychological field. It's important to understand what they are and how they're understood by the general population, just because there are those that experience them and those that don't, and if you don't, you might not have a super good grasp of what they are and what they're like to experience. So educating people, both those who experience and those who don't experience them, is super important. I'm starting with kind of the history of mental illnesses, tracing that alongside the birth of stigma, and going through like the creation of the insane asylum to the creation of the medical model, like understanding mental disorders in regards to like a medical disease, and how people respond to that, all the way tracing it to the modern day and age, and then kind of looking at, like I said, the role of the media and how social media platforms talk about it, and then also how COVID-19 spiked that influence of the media in this field.